The translator glitched, and now she thinks she's in danger. The medical bay was quiet except for the soft beeping of machines. Bright white lights covered the ceiling, clean walls, sterile air. This was Earth's top medical facility for alien rescue cases, safe, secure, advanced. A young human doctor, Marcus Reed, stood near the door reading a file, his brow furrowed. Species, unknown. Language, incomplete. Injuries, minor burns, trauma and fever. Gender, female. Age, estimated young adult. The door slid open with a soft hiss. 2 guards stepped in holding a stretcher. On it lay a girl, alien, unconscious, pale blue skin with faint glowing lines running along her arms and neck. Her long silver hair was messy and stuck to her cheeks. Her eyes were shut tight. She breathed slowly but unevenly. She was found inside a broken escape pod, the guard explained. Floating just outside the Mars orbit, no ship ID, no signals, only her. Marcus nodded. All right, let's try to help her. They carefully moved her onto a soft scanning bed. Marcus connected the translator module, a silver disc placed near her temple. Let's see if we can talk once you wake up. The machine blinked green. Translation in progress. The girl suddenly stirred, her eyes opened wide, glowing pale violet. She looked around, panicked. It's okay, Marcus said softly. You're safe. You're on a medical station. But the girl didn't understand, her body tensed. She looked at the machines, at the lights, then at Marcus. The translator sparked. Danger, prepare reproductive scan, open for extraction. Marcus froze. What? The girl's eyes widened in horror. She pushed herself off the bed and backed away, crashing into a tray of tools. Surgical. Instruments fell to the ground. Her breathing became fast, shallow. Her body began to glow brighter. Wait. No one's extracting anything. Marcus raised his hands. That's a translation error. But she didn't hear the words. She only heard the translator. Open your legs, subject. The human. Doctor will examine your inner systems. She screamed. It was a sharp, high-pitched cry that made the lights flicker. Her hands glowed with energy. Her fingers stretched like claws. Okay. This is bad, Marcus muttered. He tapped the translator again. System override, run diagnostic. The translator blinked. Error, cultural mismatch detected. Language profile corrupted. Oh no. The alien girl grabbed a surgical scalpel. She didn't know what it was, but it looked sharp. She pointed it at Marcus. Step back, she shouted, but the translator turned it into, do not impregnate me, human male. I will defend my purity. Marcus almost choked. What? No, I'm not. I'm a doctor, not whatever you think I am. The girl stood near the wall, breathing heavily. Her body pulsed with energy. She looked around for an exit. Marcus thought fast. He pulled out a notepad and pen. He slowly bent down and drew a heart. Then a body. Then a stick-figure doctor holding a stethoscope. Not a weapon. Then he drew her, alien-shaped, and drew a small glowing dot near her chest. He pointed to the picture, then to her wound, then to himself. I'm here to help, he said. The girl's eyes shifted to the drawing. She stared. Her breathing slowed a little, but then the machine beeped again. Opening procedure in 10 seconds. Prepare subject for reproductive scan. No. Marcus slammed the machine. The girl screamed again. This time her body released a shockwave of soft blue light. The power in the room flickered. One light bulb shattered. Guards rushed to the door. Marcus yelled, "Stop! Don't hurt her." The girl turned to the guards, her body glowing with rising heat. Back! Stay back or I melt you. But the translator said, "If you take me, I will explode. No mating." The guards hesitated, clearly confused. Marcus ran forward, not at her, but to the power outlet. He pulled the plug. The translator died. Silence. The girl blinked. The voice in her head was gone. She lowered the scalpel slightly. Her glowing skin dimmed. Marcus turned slowly. He placed the pen and notepad on the ground, then sat cross-legged on the floor, harmless. He pointed again to the drawing, tapped his own chest, then made a heart shape with his hands. The alien girl watched. Her arms stopped glowing. Her eyes looked tired, but no longer afraid. Slowly, she sat down too, still far, still cautious, but she stayed. For the first time since she woke up, she didn't try to escape. Why must I open my legs for you? A cultural breakdown. The alien girl sat on the edge of the medical bed, arms folded tightly across her chest. Her glowing skin had dimmed, but her eyes still watched everything like a trapped animal. Dr. Marcus Reed stood across the room, breathing slowly, hands raised. The broken translator module lay on the table. He wasn't going to turn it on again, not after last time. Okay, he said softly. No more machine talk. We try this the old way. He walked to the counter and picked up a white bedsheet. He folded it into a triangle and slowly tied it around his arm like a bandage. Then he looked at her and pointed to the scar on her side. The girl tilted her head. Her eyes narrowed. Marcus walked over, stopping 2 meters away. He crouched, drew a rough stick figure of her on the floor using a marker. He circled the rib area and wrote one word in big letters. Pain. She leaned forward, looking curious now. He drew himself next. Then a big heart between them, then the word, help. The alien girl blinked slowly, and then copied the heart shape with her hands. He smiled. Good. That's good. But just as things were going well, Marcus made a big mistake. He walked to a rolling chair and pulled out a tool, a gentle scanner shaped a bit like a wand. He held it up and pointed to her stomach, then to the scanner. He drew a wave to show how the scanner just reads signals, but the girl's eyes widened in alarm. She stood up fast. Her energy lines glowed again. Marcus stopped cold. No, it's not a weapon, just a scan. The girl picked up a nearby tray and raised it like a shield. And then very slowly she spoke in her own language. Broken, unsure, but clear enough. The broken translator still had some power and managed to catch a few words. Why? Must. I open my legs for you. Human? Marcus nearly choked. What? No, that's not, oh God. The translator, still glitchy, turned Marcus's nervous response into, procedure must continue. Resistance will be punished. The girl hissed and backed against the wall. Her fingers glowed with blue energy. Her eyes flicked toward the door like she was ready to escape again. No, wait. Marcus dropped the scanner. It's a misunderstanding. He frantically grabbed the notepad again and scribbled. No touching, only looking, just help. He showed it to her. Then pointed to the scanner and waved it in front of his own body. See? Nothing painful. No mating. Just checkup. The yow. Girl watched closely. She narrowed her eyes. Then slowly, very slowly, she walked back to the bed and sat down again. Still stiff. Still ready to fight. But she sat. Marcus let out a deep breath. Thank you, he whispered. He used the scanner on her from a distance. The results flashed on the screen. Elevated energy inside her chest, and strange activity near her lower abdomen. He didn't say anything out loud, but inside his mind raced. Something is forming inside her. And it's not natural. Meanwhile, the girl looked around at the room. She pointed to the broken translator device and muttered something. Marcus brought her a paper and pen. She drew 3 strange symbols, glowing slightly as she touched the paper. Then she pointed to her chest, then to Marcus, then to the translator. He understood. Her language was alive, connected to her body. That's why the device failed. It wasn't built to read emotions, just words. He gently wrote her a question. What do you think I am? She looked at the page. Then she pointed to Marcus, smiled a little, and said a new word. Without any help. Healer. Marcus blinked in surprise. You know that word? She nodded. then looked into his eyes and added one more word. Safe. He smiled, genuinely this time. But just as that warm moment settled, the medical scanner beeped loudly. A red alert flashed on the side screen. Marcus checked it. His eyes widened. Her internal energy was rising fast, not like a fever, not like panic. It was like something inside her was awakening. The forbidden scan shows something unbelievable. Doctor. Marcus stood frozen in front of the scanner screen. Red and yellow lines flashed across the display. His eyes moved quickly as he read the strange data. This can't be right, he whispered. The alien girl sat silently nearby, watching him. She was calm now, her hands resting on her lap, glowing slightly with soft blue light. She didn't understand the machine, but she knew something had changed in Marcus's face. He didn't look calm anymore. He looked afraid. Marcus ran the scan again, this time slower, more carefully. The beam passed over her body from head to toe. He avoided saying anything aloud. He didn't want to scare her, but deep inside her lower abdomen, just below where her energy lines pulsed strongest, there was something. Not organic, not natural, not born inside her, a shape. Smooth, metallic, small but alive. A foreign object, Marcus said quietly. But not just that. It's active. It's reacting to her body. He zoomed in. The object looked like an egg, glowing faintly, floating inside her like it wasn't attached to anything. No wires, no scars, no signs of surgery. It was as if her body had grown around it naturally. But what shocked him most was the energy signature. It was broadcasting. The scanner picked up faint signals. Not radio, not data. Something deeper. A biofrequency. Like a heartbeat. Like a message trying to reach somewhere far away. Marcus stood up straight. He looked at her. She tilted her head slightly, sensing his mood. He picked up the paper and pen again and wrote, "You're carrying something. Inside." She looked down at her body, confused, then pointed to herself. Injured? He shook his head, then drew a circle inside her outline. Not injury. Something else. Something not part of you. She blinked, then slowly, she frowned. Her hand went to her lower stomach. Her fingers glowed faintly. She closed her eyes, and suddenly, the scanner exploded. Sparks flew from the machine. The power in the room cut out. The emergency lights came on, dim red glow surrounding them. Marcus ducked and looked back up. The girl was still sitting there, but her body was shining brightly now. Her skin reflected blue and gold like flowing metal. Her hair lifted slightly into the air. Her eyes glowed like twin stars. She whispered a word, not English, not from the translator, a word Marcus couldn't understand, but felt in his mind. Seed. His breath caught. He grabbed the pen again and quickly wrote, "Seed of what?" The girl didn't answer. She looked at the broken scanner, then at Marcus, then placed her hand on his chest. The glow spread from her fingers into his body, not hurting, but connecting, and for a second, Marcus saw flashes, visions, a world with 3 suns, giant floating temples, a laboratory made of light, her people, tall, glowing, peaceful, and inside one temple, a chamber where something powerful was created. Not a weapon, not a child, a memory, a future, a last hope, and it was placed inside her, not by force, but by choice. She had volunteered. Marcus stumbled back, breathing heavily. She caught him gently and held him steady. Then she pointed to her stomach and said clearly, "Not baby. Not bomb. Memory of all." He understood. She was carrying a genetic record, the last full copy of her people's knowledge, DNA, history, a living archive. But now it was growing. Her body wasn't just protecting it, it was activating it. And Earth scientists would never allow it to survive. Suddenly, the door opened. 2 guards rushed in. "Dr. Marcus, what happened?" "We lost power. The lab is on lockdown." Marcus turned to them and raised his hands. "Stay back. Don't point weapons. She's not hostile." They looked at the glowing alien girl and hesitated. One of them raised a scanner. She stood up. Her glow turned brighter. "No," Marcus yelled. The girl raised her hand, and the walls shook. The lights above exploded one by one. The guards fell to the floor, covering their faces. She didn't touch them. She didn't harm them, but she warned them. Marcus stepped in front of her. "It's okay," he said calmly. "You don't need to run." The girl looked at him. Then, in a soft voice, asked, "If they take me, will they cut me open?" Marcus closed his eyes. "Yes, they will. Unless I stop them." She touched his shoulder, then whispered, "Then help me. Run." She thinks she's dying, but the truth is more complicated. The alien girl sat on the cold floor of the medical bay, hugging her knees, her glowing skin dimmer than before. Her breathing was slow. Her hands trembled. She looked down at her stomach again and again. Dr. Marcus watched her from the other side of the room, worried. He had locked the door and shut down the cameras. He knew they had only a little time before security forced their way in. She had spoken few words since the energy surge, but now she whispered something quietly to herself. Marcus knelt beside her. "What did you say?" She looked up at him. Her voice was calm but full of fear. "I am dying." Marcus blinked. "No, you're not." She shook her head. "The thing inside, it grows, it burns. I feel hot, weak. My skin cracks." Marcus took her hand gently and looked at the energy lines across her wrist. He noticed tiny flickers of red along the blue glow, something new. He activated the small hand scanner, using an old model that still worked without power. He scanned her body and frowned. The object inside her, the seed, was becoming more active. It was now creating energy bursts every few minutes, and her body was reacting like it was being overwritten. "It's not killing you," Marcus said carefully. "It's changing you." She didn't understand. He picked up the notepad again and drew a flower, then a seed, then a girl. He pointed to her stomach, then to the drawing. "You are not dying. You are transforming. The seed inside you is in waking up. It's using your body as a shell." She stared at the picture for a long time. Then she touched her own chest. "If it wakes, I disappear." Marcus froze. He hadn't thought of that. If the seed fully activated, would it erase her own mind, her memories? Would she become just a carrier? She started breathing faster. "I don't want to die. I don't want to become something else." He placed a hand on her shoulder. "Listen to me. You are not just a shell. You are still here. You made choices. You talked to me. You are stronger than anything growing inside you." She looked into his eyes. "Will you protect me?" Marcus nodded. "With my life." Suddenly, alarms blared. Warning. Unauthorized. Room lockdown. Security override in 30 seconds. They were running out of time. Marcus stood up. He moved quickly to the secret exit panel he had found weeks ago during maintenance rounds. He pulled it open and checked the crawl space. "Just big, enough for her to fit. You need to leave," he said. "Now, go through this tunnel. It leads to the cargo bay. I'll find you there." She stood slowly, wobbling on her feet. Her skin glowed strangely. Some parts golden, others bright blue. The transformation was spreading faster now. She touched her head, confused. "I feel new thoughts, new words, things I don't remember learning." Marcus helped her into the tunnel. "That's the knowledge. From the seed. It's unlocking inside your brain." She looked at him once more, her eyes full of worry and something else. Trust. Then she disappeared into the dark tunnel. In the main corridor, soldiers marched toward the medical bay with weapons ready. The lead officer barked orders. Dr. Marcus Reed is harboring a dangerous life form. He will be detained. They kicked the door open. Marcus stood alone. No sign of her, one soldier said. She's gone, the officer muttered. He stalled. Us. Marcus was arrested, but he smiled. He had bought her enough time. In the cargo bay, the alien girl climbed out of the tunnel and hid behind crates. Her breathing was rough. Her skin now shimmered with patterns, moving like waves. Suddenly, she fell to her knees. Pain, heat, light inside her chest. She screamed softly. Her back arched, and from her shoulder blades, thin strands of light began to form. Almost like wings. Not solid, not feathers, but energy. She covered her mouth, scared someone would hear, but no one came. She looked at her hands. Her fingers had changed shape slightly. Longer, glowing tips, stronger. She whispered, "What am I becoming?" A small voice spoke inside her mind. Not hers. You are the beginning of us all. The child she never knew she was carrying. The cargo bay was silent. Only the soft hum of the ship's engines echoed in the background. The alien girl sat on the floor, leaning against a stack of supply crates. Her skin glowed with mixed colors, now blue, gold, and silver lines weaving across her arms, chest, and legs. Her hands trembled. Her heart beat faster than before. Inside her, the seed pulsed again. She felt it, not as pain, but as movement, gentle, rhythmic, alive. Dr. Marcus had called it a memory, a core of knowledge. But this felt different. It felt like a life. She placed her hand on her stomach and closed her eyes. A soft pulse responded from within, a light, a warm vibration. She gasped. Her mouth opened slowly and she whispered, "Is it a child?" Back in the research facility, Marcus sat in an interrogation room, cuffed, bloody lip, bruised cheek. The officers questioned him one by one. "What's inside her, Dr. Reed?" "She's carrying advanced alien tech, weapon or signal." "Did you assist her escape?" But Marcus gave them no answers. He only said one thing. "She's not a threat. She's a life form, protecting another life form." The director of the lab, Commander Reese, watched the reports with a cold face. "We must retrieve the subject immediately," he said. "Dead or alive." He activated an alert to all military ships in orbit. Target priority, alien female, energy class carrier, potential interstellar asset or risk, capture or neutralize. Inside the cargo bay, the alien girl woke up again, feeling warmth spread through her chest. She wasn't alone anymore. The presence inside her spoke without words. Just feelings. Calm, curiosity, love. It wasn't dangerous. It wasn't trying to take over. It was learning from her. Feeling her fear, her kindness, her pain. And now, it began to respond. Her stomach pulsed softly. A shape formed beneath the skin. Small, not human-shaped, not alien either. A ball of light with tiny threads. Reaching outward, connecting to her body like roots. She cried. Not from fear, from emotion. "This is not a weapon," she whispered. "It is a child." Her voice echoed through the quiet bay. Then, she heard footsteps. She stood quickly. A figure stepped from the shadows. Marcus. His lip was cut. He limped, but he smiled when he saw her. "You made it," she said, surprised. He nodded. "I told you. I'd find you." She ran to him, and for the first time, hugged him. Her arms wrapped around his back, her head against his shoulder. He held her gently, but then he pulled back and looked at her stomach. "It's growing faster, isn't it?" She nodded. "It's alive. It's not just memory. It's a new being." Marcus looked worried. That means Earth will never let you keep it. They'll take it, study it, cut it out. I won't let them, she said. He thought for a moment. Then we need to get you off this station. At that moment, outside the base, military drones began closing in. Marcus's ID had been flagged. The system knew he was missing. Guards were already sweeping the ship. A voice echoed through the cargo speakers. Attention. Unauthorized life form detected. Prepare for extraction. Medical team en route. Do not resist. The girl looked at Marcus. We don't have time, he said. There's an old shuttle in Bay 3. It's not fast, but it's off-grid. If we reach it... Suddenly the wall shook. A blast hit the outer hull. The girl turned, her skin glowing again. No more hiding, she whispered. Marcus grabbed her arm. You can't fight them, not with that life growing inside you. She closed her eyes and then... The child inside her responded. From her back, wings of light unfolded. Soft, slow-moving, energy-shaped. Not real wings, but a shield. Her body now acted like a cocoon, protecting both herself and what was growing inside. I'm not fighting them, she said. I'm protecting us. As soldiers burst into the bay, weapons ready, they froze. What they saw was not a monster, not a weapon, but a mother glowing with life. And beside her, a human doctor, standing like a wall. Marcus stepped forward. She is not your enemy. She carries the future, not just of her kind, but maybe ours too. Some soldiers hesitated, but the commander behind them shouted, Fire! Then you will be my mate, alien girl makes an offer. The cargo bay doors exploded inward. Soldiers in black armor stormed in with heavy boots and bright weapons. Their visors locked onto the glowing alien girl. She stood calmly, wrapped in soft energy light. Her body formed a gentle barrier around her stomach. Behind her, Dr. Marcus raised his hands, trying to shield her with his own body. Don't shoot, he yelled. She's not attacking. The commander didn't listen. Target confirmed. She's carrying unstable tech. Prepare to contain. But before the soldiers could take a step, the air changed. The alien girl's body began to glow brighter, not with heat, but with power. Her long silver hair floated around her face. Her eyes were soft but strong. She wasn't angry. She was deciding. And then she spoke, calmly, clearly. If I die, the child dies. The future dies. The soldiers froze. The commander growled, Bluff. Fire stun rounds. Bring her in. But one soldier lowered his gun. This doesn't feel like a threat, he said. It feels like something else. Marcus stepped forward. She's carrying life, not a weapon, not a code, a real being, maybe the last of its kind. Silence filled the room, then the girl looked at Marcus. Her voice was soft. You protect me, you risk for me, you stay. He nodded slowly. Yes. She looked deep into his eyes, then spoke again. Then, you will be my mate. The words echoed through the silent cargo bay. Marcus blinked. I what? She stepped closer, glowing softly. Where I am from, the one who protects life becomes partner of that life. It is not romance, it is bond. You are healer, you are safe, you are chosen. Marcus's mouth went dry. Wait, you want me to be the father? She nodded once. You don't even know me, he said. I do know you, she replied. I feel your soul. My child feels it too. The soldiers looked confused. Some even lowered their weapons again. The commander barked, Enough. She's manipulating him. Take them both. Weapons locked again. Marcus turned to her. If I say yes, what happens? She placed her hand gently on his chest. You will walk with me, protect with me, and when the time comes, help raise what is born. Marcus looked at the soldiers, then back at her, and he nodded. I'll stay with you, no matter what. She turned back to the soldiers. Her wings of light spread wider, glowing like a shield. She whispered one word, leave. And her body released a pulse of calm. Not violence, not pain, just peace. One by one, The soldiers dropped their weapons. Their hands relaxed. Their minds felt light, as if a wave of memory touched them all. Visions of her past, her destroyed world, the choice she made to carry the seed, the danger of losing it. The commander shook his head, trying to resist. She's tricking us. But even he dropped to one knee. Then the girl turned and whispered to Marcus, "We go now." They ran to the old shuttle in Bay 3. It was dusty, half broken, but it still had life. Marcus powered it up. As they flew off the station, no ships followed, because no one had the will to chase them. In the stars beyond, the alien girl sat quietly in the co-pilot seat. She held her stomach. Her eyes were calm. Marcus looked at her. "Where do we go now?" She smiled faintly. "Somewhere safe. For you. For me. For the child." He laughed nervously. "Still can't believe I agreed to this." She looked at him seriously. "You were already chosen, not by me but by life. Humanity's first womb of peace." The stars outside the shuttle were calm, bright, endless. The little ship drifted slowly through a quiet part of the galaxy, far from Earth's satellites, far from scanners and war. Inside the ship, the alien girl lay on a soft bed made of old blankets and padding. Her skin glowed golden now, her body warm and soft, no longer afraid. Her hands were on her stomach. The seed was almost ready. Dr. Marcus sat beside her, holding a glowing medical scanner in one hand, and her hand in the other. "It's okay," he said gently. "You're safe now. You're strong. You can do this." She smiled. Her silver hair sparkled in the soft light. Her body was calm, but the energy in the room was rising. The child inside her was awakening, not with pain but with purpose. "I feel it," she whispered. "It speaks to me, not in words, in feelings, in light." Marcus checked the readings. "Heartbeat is strong. Energy levels stable. You're not dying. You're transforming again." She nodded. "Becoming more." She sat up slowly, breathing deeply. "The time is now," she said. Marcus helped her to the center of the shuttle's chamber. He placed soft cloth and energy blankets around her. The air inside shifted, peaceful, glowing like the birth of a star. She closed her eyes and began to sing, not with words, with light. Her body pulsed in waves. Her energy lines lit up in patterns, forming spirals of gold, silver, and blue. Her arms floated gently, her eyes filled with tears, not from pain, but from beauty. The ship itself responded. Panels began to glow. Old metal hummed. The lights dimmed and soft blue mist floated through the air. Marcus knelt beside her, watching with awe. Then from her body, a sphere of glowing light emerged, not flesh, not machine. Something new. A living orb. With patterns flowing across its surface, moving, changing, breathing. It floated gently in the air, surrounded by her energy. Marcus stared. "What is it?" he whispered. She opened her eyes. Her voice was soft, tired, full of love. The first of a new kind. Not weapon, not memory. A child. Born from pain, grown from peace. The orb floated toward Marcus. It stopped in front of him, then pulsed. For a moment his mind was filled with images. Cities of peace, skies with no war, species working together. Healing planets, growing new life. It was a vision, a gift. He reached out carefully and touched the orb. Warm. Alive. The child knew him. The bond was real. She lay back slowly, smiling. "We did it. You did it," Marcus said. She shook her head. "We. Together." Days passed. The girl recovered, slowly. The child stayed close, floating silently near them, watching, learning. The ship traveled toward a quiet green planet. At the edge of the system, it was unclaimed, full of life, safe. They landed near a river, built a small shelter, and lived in peace. Months later, news spread across space. Earth received signals, soft messages of healing, of unity, not from warships, not from threats, from the child. Scientists were confused. Leaders were nervous, but many listened, and those who believed followed. They came quietly, not to fight, but to learn, to be healed, and to meet the being born, not from labs, but from trust. Marcus stood outside the home they built. The alien girl walked beside him. Her skin no longer glowed wildly. It shimmered, gently, like morning light. The child hovered near them, now shaped more clearly. It had eyes like stars, voice like music, and mind like 1,000 stories. Marcus whispered, "What should we name you?" The child responded, "I am all names. I am all hopes. But for you, I will be called Peace." And so it began. Not a war, not a battle, but a new chapter. Born from misunderstanding, saved by compassion, raised in love, humanity's first womb of peace.